Okay, so this time we'll have a look at Bitcoin, okay? A lot of people say that Bitcoin is digital gold. So since I did a video about gold, may as well do one about Bitcoin. Again, we're on tradingview.com. That's free. Anyone can create a profile there. And I've decided to go to the 1 week chart just to get it onto the screen. Okay, so let's have a look at the long-term trend. We could draw a nice pretty line there again. Right, there we go. Isn't that a coincidence that since the 2017 high, um, you can draw the trend line and it's never gone the other side of that trend line. So, touched it there, then dropped off, touched it there, then dropped off, nearly touched it there, and then touched it there a few times there. We are on the weekly chart. We'll zoom into the day chart soon. So first thing to remark there, in my humble opinion, is that anyone who says that Bitcoin is going to be worth $1 million, well, I mean, a million's not even on the scale there. I mean, a million's up here. That's a million up there. So if Bitcoin is going to reach $1 million, in my opinion, one of two things have to happen. Either this trend line has to get broken, and it hasn't been broken yet, or we have to extend this trend line out for quite a long time before we get anywhere near $1 million. Right, let's have a look at this as well. Okay, none of this is financial advice. Do your own research, okay? Oops. Do your own research. I'm not here to tell you what to do. Here, if you look at the level it was here to when it dropped down, you're looking at like an 89% drop. Here, let's take this peak here. It went down there, 52%, 70 something percent. I mean, this is crazy. I mean, we looked at the gold and how if you'd held on to it for 3 years, from 2020 to 2023, it went sideways and you'd have wasted your time. But I mean, this is crazy. If you don't want to be exposed to this volatility, don't get Bitcoin. It's absolutely ridiculous. Before we go into the daily range, I suppose we could draw another line there. So look at that. That seems to be a bit of a trend there. I guess you could draw these lines in all over the chart, and they're valid until they get broken, basically. But that for me is more or less some sort of support line. So this trend line here is resistance, and every time it touches it, it bumps its head and has to go back down again. This line here at the moment seems to be acting as a bit of support. So let's go here into the day timescale. There we are. Right, what do I notice here? This structure here could be called a head and a shoulders. So we got the head here, that's the high, and here's sort of the left shoulder, and is there going to be sort of a right shoulder there? That's a classic sort of chart trend. Another thing that scares me at the moment, I mean, this trend line hasn't been broken yet, but this zone here, it's like a bearish flag. So it went down quite a lot from there to there. Yeah, 35% is down, and then it's kind of natural that there's a consolidation period before it goes down even more. So at the moment, I guess people are confused. Is it going to go up and form this right shoulder? So we're talking, is it going to go up to, I don't know, just based on the other shoulder on that side? They don't always have to be symmetrical. We're talking 100, 115,000, whatever you want to call it. Or are we in this bearish kind of flag and it's due to go down again? Where am I? I just want to have a look at this. And so what you could do here is you could draw some sort of line there. And you can say, okay, there's the flag. That's the flag there. And at the moment, is there a flag inside of a flag? We've got the top half of the flag and the bottom half of the flag. And since 2026 has begun, there we are, 1st of January there, things seem to be going quite well. You're up 6, Okay. Would I buy this? Well, make your own decision. We're all adults. This is not financial advice. No. No, I wouldn't. Or I wouldn't be tempted to buy this because you need some sort of confirmation that this is indeed the right shoulder. So confirmation of that would be breaking through the top here. If it came up to this trend line and went through it, that would be happy days. That would be fantastic. But then on the other hand, if it bounced back down here and broke through that trend line there, which is a bit of support in that flag, in addition to the yellow line that I drew on, which is another sort of supporting trend line, then yeah, that would be time to go crazy and jump out the window and sell everything you've got. Would I touch this? No. You got to wait. You got to wait for this. It's Bitcoin. It's not a real physical asset. I'm not saying you can't make money off it. I'm saying, this could disappear any day. Someone could say, oh no, actually we're all changed over to the next newest, better quantum version of the Bitcoin or whatever, or this is now illegal, or it's absolutely worthless, whatever. So this could always go to zero in the blink of an eye. Don't see that happening based purely off the graph. But yeah, either it's got to break out above this little bearish flag, or it'll go below it. And certainly if it ever touches this yellow line again, that would be the moment to sell, and then buy it back again when it's lower. Okay, so that's just the way I see it. Let's not get involved in these 4-year halving cycles. That's for a much longer video, which I'm not going to make because there are much more qualified people on the internet who have already gone into details about the 4-year cycle and what you should do. If the 4-year cycle is still valid or if it's now dead, whatever, do what you want. But that's the way I would play it, hypothetically speaking.